Speaker per se or declare Matthew Nyindam seat no vacant. So Bagbin, why are you in a rush? Why? And I'm out to improve parliament in there be we so Christoni. The catcher piece of heaven be Kobe.
The guy has filed for stay of the he served parliament. Bagbin, who will not stop the Chikwesi from coming to parliament, now says that he had declared the seat vacant. The same speaker Bagbin, who when the Chikwesi's case was going on, says the parliament cannot stop him from coming to. It has to take the final decision. Even when the Cape Coast Court spoke, and the guy, the Chikwesi went to the Supreme Court, he was allowed to be coming to parliament.
The issue of Kpandai with Matthew Nyindam is not a new issue in our democratic politics. You've had issues with Dana Bodakpi, you've had issues with Techikwesi, in Asin, and basically you've had the House allow the court and the legal processes to take place and be exhausted before state institutions are stampeded into acting in ways that undermine democracy.
No matter how much you chant, no matter how much noise you make, in fact, even if you come and stand on my seat here, I will still state my position so that the speaker can give his ruling. So, Mr. Speaker, the issue before you is not to challenge your ruling. It is not to challenge your ruling, because your ruling was not even about what happens when one files an appeal. Your ruling was whether or not within the 7 days you could be called upon to remove the member of parliament from the chamber.
Mema etifo nyina achen mama kwaba de ba koda media TV system ri. Na mesere say nani de kan roba so asana ye nda na subscribe ya na wabaka busu akase no dwumedi nkoso na wala kase na foforo so anya bi etie asam kase bi asi parliament a ne me bisa me ho questions bebre se mbisa bi a me ankasa mintimi ya no nimara etie fo mommo amena yenhwe den asam na asi ane se eye Kpandai aba wotoi na be na otwe bie na bi santam ni ho asem aso ya den court ho ne kakaka ho. Speaker per se o declare Matthew Nyindam seat no vacant. Na mempo sanse yanyan ntie se kwotro letter clerk actual letter comma electoral commissioner internet is imprin sitting the eye vacant aning na the internet say basa judge odi asem no wo Tamale court amamra na kire say na be din kankan no 21 days time SSL would file a protest be against mintim hwasi biara ana hunu bia unim se ankoyi ana irregularities bia ufi se SSL waka wansam no papa na yen sa he came out when it was 34 days into Nyindam akọ Supreme Court for interpretation. So Bagbin, why are you in a rush? Why are you in a rush? Because the same thing happened with Chikwesi. The same thing happened with Chikwesi. Now Chikwesi didn't de what can ya ma court to can you be in a way somebody in so that's over parliament. Inti ada inti ena Nyindam de order ne dia kwa dan court na o ma court nwie na asem now declare seat no vacant. Bagbin. Debi nkunta wo ho nipa bebu o. Menena na kan. What is a won kata wani se wawu a. Wuri hu so Nyankopon wo ho. If you don't believe, say there is God a. Ada ubewu abakata wani wase mawu no, dan na bam say you. Say nyame ti ase. Ntini awuri ye nyina. Ehun kuntabu ho men can say politics. Because what's what I will call as a Roman Catholic, no? And ma kwan ho kwan ma won twatro. Ma won fan kuntompo. En replacing no kware. Yen kono yen ko tie. Yenua Evis Dakon editor. Na odin sembi abetu gana a very strong words. Say Bagbin ho ye no won a mumye kutie asema Evis Dakon kan.
The guy has filed for stay of he said Parliament. Bagbin, who will not stop Jechikwesi from coming to Parliament, now says that he had declared the seat vacant. The same speaker, Bagbin, who when Jechikwesi's case was going on, says the Parliament cannot stop him from coming to. It has to take the final decision. Even when the Cape Coast Court spoke, and the guy, Jechikwesi went to the Supreme Court, he was allowed to be coming to Parliament. Even MPs will leave, any MPs will leave Parliament and follow him to court because they turn it into a political issue. And the Supreme Court says here they agree with the Cape Coast High Court. The gentleman was a Canadian citizen at the time he contested the election. Go and do a rerun before he stopped coming to Parliament. Before they went to do a rerun, and he won. In this same case, the same Bagbin who was a speaker in the case of the Jechikwesi, the same speaker of Bagbin sitting in the seat now says that I've declared the seat vacant. This is politics. This is not law. Let nobody deceive us that this is law. This is pure politics. And that's why I'm saying that they should keep exercising the supermajority. They should enjoy it. They should remember that in 2016 NPP had 160 something seats, NDC was 120 or something. It changed. It became 136, 136. Now NDC is 187, NPP is 87. So they should know that Ghanaian voters, when they give you power, the way you exercise the power determines how they vote the next time. So if the NDC believes that they have a super majority now, so everything that comes, they have the numbers they can pull through. So they will use politics. I wish them well. But they should know that those who gave them the super majority, they are sitting back, they are watching. And in 2028, they'll go use the same thumb to decide. And tell them that we didn't give you the super majority to go and be bulldozing your way around and intimidating people. What is happening to Nyandamsi has nothing to do with law. It's a pure issue of politics, and nobody can convince me.
Is that someone will fear Guhuni? San say Jechikwesi in case in the same thing. A mirror now court to the Nasamono. Now man who quine, who created now a speaker, now man who come about parliament. But any business as a parliamentarian. So what happened? Then Abba with him. I don't see Ben Abba with him. As a Catholic, Romani, I also a Christian. Bagbin, are you a true Christian? So we a true Christian there. My conscience is just saying you know a bonny. And I know being single be yen nani a dear. Be any hobble manasso. Enti obi di nasa mako down court makotun can ask me we know would before. Then you have the right to do whatever you want to do in the parliament. Would ultimate parliaments and then in emu this a for good to na court in finti. Ya ye and ye ni pe bi one but be me one san say. O background as a Catholic. One of the respected missioner about the whole world. A Roman Catholic. It is also you Christian now a Catholic there. Go by the rules of Catholics. And you want the parliament now any day. When so Christian. It's a travel pain. Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia, flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party in 2024. Obopino. Will be sad honsem. no kyerɛ n'adwen n'adwen ɔkyerɛ no kyerɛ sɛ Bagbin kwan a wonam so no a rough road. Now it will not end you up well. So far as what's we Christian no. Mumi enkoti Alhaji Muhammadu Baumia, the man of the big head, loaded with vision, loaded with wisdom, loaded with integrity. Neemra.
Yes. Good morning, Excellency.
Good morning,
The political situation in Kpandai right now, the Electoral Commission has set up a date for the rerun of the election. What do you make of it?
Well, thank you very much. To say the least, very, very disappointed in what is going on in our country. It looks like our institutions of democracy and our tenets of democracy are being undermined. The issue of Kpandai with Matthew Nyindam is not a new issue in our democratic politics. You've had issues with Dana Bodakpi, you've had issues with Techi Kweston, in Asin, and basically you've had the House allow the court and the legal processes to take place and be exhausted before state institutions are stampeded into acting in ways that undermine democracy. Matthew Nyindam should be given his day in court. He has filed appeal processes at the High Court. He has filed for a judicial review at the Supreme Court. And none of those cases has been adjudicated. So why the rush? Why the indecent haste? I think that he's being railroaded. I think that this undermines our institutions of democracy. I think that we should take a halt to these processes and allow him to have his day in court, just as others have done in the past. The House has never really rushed in this way when it came to the other cases. What is the difference with the case of Matthew Nyindam? I think it should not be this case. I think we should uphold the tenets of democracy. Democracy is something precious that we've all had and we've all subscribed to. When you start undermining its pillars, you break it down, and the consequences for the nation are very severe. And so simply because you have power, you shouldn't feel that you can ride roughshod over your opponents and over the principles of democracy. And so I stand with the principles that are being espoused by the minority in Parliament, and they are doing a good job at it. And we want to support all the principles that they are fighting over in this particular case. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Papa no so adwen a ochire yi ni. Incidenti, why are you in a rush? Why get the mudibi? Abielo, a honadea. La belle judiakpa. A jola sing central, the same thing, but a top beer. Tana Zuber Agba. Aba a trozuklo de a jokarejo. Tala la juji. Tamara biagaberi. Enkajo. Nye manye na reho. Woshi shi amile nguno. Woshi shi amile nguno. Alo de sukriere le wadajie.
When he was granted the presidential pardon, he returned to this chamber on 10th of June 2008 and was permitted to sit and perform duties as MP. His tenure ended with the dissolution of Parliament. In the case of Adamu Dramani Sakandai of Boko Central, the honorable member continued to serve in Parliament for years while the courts determined civil challenges to his eligibility. It was upon his final criminal conviction and subsequent imprisonment in July 2012 that he became legally incapacitated from performing his duty as a member of Parliament. Even as he pursued an appeal, he was granted a presidential pardon in December 2012. In any case, a by-election could not have been constitutionally justified since his incarceration occurred less than 6 months before the 2012 general election.
Bagbin. Mini yano. Mini wona. Nkrani baby says mini wona. Eja kashim noni bahu the same thing ne. Talking about education the same thing. No mini wo. Mini ba. No here for tomo viit. Asuku baby say belo loko buchi loko so kawa. Ebe buchi loko so kawa be ben wo ba. Oye wo si Onyankopon. Ene wo ba efu loko so kawa no mo chima akose. Eyoku emba be take an energy. Oba na doctor de manya ngududu bia odu now. Se kwamba nya duan nyina no wodi. In the Speaker of Parliament, Agbansu Bagbin, also ye Christo ni. Ma woni ye Christo. Ma woni ye Christo. Na Bible say won sok kane amfansu okoro ase na mo wodi si kane adua so na hyeren ma won a wo wadam nyina nti ma wo kane anhyeren let people know say yeah you are Catholic and am a wotu ni mpere on parliament ni there be we so Christo ni me catch you peace heaven be wo ha unkobi if there is heaven truly unkobi and na unkobi ochina because usuba nsel bi oyo Christo ni wani esi hu ne yawre ye wo nyindam asem yi hu e wo Kpandai suinde na say you are not a Christian into wo de tena ho na to parliament adan yi na mu na fa safin gu kutokum se ne wo ye mmiri bi atwam no na wanti mi amanda potin say that say na me ne bebue parliament no say biom fa parliament ne fa bobo the wiase insu anto a dan a adebesa is papa bi no na makwa afu no se na me punish me mai na ye be do sa ye nkofie samosomo ye ni hafo na ye be do sa na wodo a na oketo na wo mu fisa papa o se ye nkofie ne o se you o se nti adebesa na sa adensa o sa adebesa nti anajo no so ye bedo ana o se da bi nti biribia wona mre asetena wo wiase na a provisional it works up to a certain extent na wo nanto akodu wa brabo hyeso a na wakokohyi Onyankopon na abofo nti adwuma bia obeye suban bia obedana di asase su bia wo nsunsuanso e wakatua either positive or negative. Inti ni oye education na o man ho kwama no ba parliament ana Martin Nyidande wo declare ne seat bakasa wo de achechira wo de jansana magu achi no yere ho asetena bia wo na wie Koda Media TV sini idia ne ka achiri eja e wo di asem padwumadi wo benya no wo Koda Media TV so inti mesra wo ndi di ka roba so na wa subscribe to the Koda Media TV dwumadi ni koso na wo tie bi no na wa like na wa share afoforo so benya bi atie we are all comment so about comment section ho na ye nyina ya prepare beautiful Ghana for the future generation na na Bagbin ye dey there be me nyi ni say we be able to build that beautiful future for the generation so say mpanimfo no wo mu ne nka no kware ni wiase no kware na dey depend do baby say odu Onyankopon anim e dey be sia